Always loved it since I was growing up, you know, listening to Snoop Dogg. Got like a ripped off CD of his that somebody burnt me out of their collection, and from there it was like, yeah, that was what I loved. Rage Against the Machine, all that kind of stuff. Grew up listening to that. So I really just developed those. I wanted to always write bars, and my mate, guy that lives in Bristol, a friend of mine called Nate, he's always done his own thing, very independent, and he always used to write his own bars and make his own tracks in his bedroom just off of a PC mic or whatever.
The music scene is as fickle as the rest. I've seen women disrespected when their living is their flesh exposed. No clothes, all breasts on show for those at home that got no time for intellect. Trying to
really engaged me, and it was like I can relate to a lot of the stuff he's saying. At the weekend, so give it back to him and said, "Who was it?" He was like, "It's me, it's my own CD." And from there it was like, right, grabbed a pen, grabbed a pad, went home and just wrote my first rap, and it was always just messing about really, but now we're looking at 10 years on now, and I'm still doing it and still enjoying it. So yeah, it's just developing those skills really. I wouldn't say there's ever been a rap scene in the Suffolk area. Like, I mean, there's always been rappers like everywhere you go, but Suffolk has never been known for rap at all. It's, you know, we get a Suffolk show and shit like that happening, but like we've got a fair few now, people coming up that are actually making a good go of it because of the way the global scene's changed. You know, we've got this internet thing popping off. Anybody since the 90s, anybody can make a rap track and be accepted for themselves and whatever it is, their artistic merit for the thing that they're saying or delivering or the way they're approaching hip hop. You know, anybody can make a go of it, and so now what we've got is something where even people like me, somebody from the sticks, you know, Suffolk, just grew up listening to hip hop.
Fuck what you think, I'm a flesh-covered spaceship racing at light speed, I tear through the matrix. T9000, I'm Hyperdyne's latest. I masters ill skills while you're still with the basics.
Was on stage, like open mic nights, all of that kind of stuff. I've managed to find one of those locally in the last 3-4 years. So it's not like we've ever had a rap scene in Suffolk particularly, but I suppose now that what's happened in the last 5-10 years is there's a lot of people approaching it differently and saying, right, well, hip hop's actually taking off again, so how can we make this a more live, more engaging thing for all the locals? And so I think it's actually making a bit of a comeback now, but it's been a while, so it should do. Yeah, I was really shocked initially. Like the first few days, I did not expect that. Every time I hit refresh, there was like, you know, hundreds, maybe thousands more views, and that's a new thing for me because I'd never had an audience for any of my music before. You know, trying to promote yourself as a musician is one of the hardest things. You know, you're trying to make your tracks and get good at what you're doing, recording, production, rapping, writing lyrics, delivering lyrics. All of this stuff is, you know, real skills that need to be honed and put lots of practice and effort into. So when it comes to marketing yourself, it becomes quite a difficult thing. So Bury St Edmunds, you know, that video, the Bury track, I planned for it to get a bit of attention locally, just so that I've got something to look at to launch the rest of my music from. But I didn't think it was gonna get as much of a reaction as it did. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. No, I'm not surprised at all. The Bury one I always expected to get a bit more attention because it's very specific, topical to an audience locally that would potentially share it and view it and show it to their friends and family as something that they can all relate to because we're all from this area. But most of my other tracks, all the, you know, the topic matter, subject matter, sometimes vague, sometimes quite lyrical, and about things that I feel more. You know, it's stuff that engages me more.
Talk cold force of a poor man's thoughts, I'm lawless, same as this scornland bought. No longer sure what these rules stand for, so I sharpen my sword as the Lord's plan war. Worn like Hanford, stealing a sandstorm, hawk and won't saw my wingspan torn.
That's the entire reason I did that video in the first place, was so we've got some kind of launch platform, and then hopefully from here, the more we release, then we'll get some momentum going and hopefully make something of something. Wait and see.
I've been weak, being part of our freedom. Gotta laugh at the demons, cause we are armed to defeat them. Are you ready now? See it how the past is repeating.
I don't think I'll necessarily make a career out of it, but I've seen lots of people, a lot of friends, people I've met doing hip hop that are now able to quit their jobs and actually make a living out of the tracks that they're making, and the music they're releasing, and the gigs that they're going and doing. So I know firsthand from these people that it is possible, but the amount of work you need to do to even break even is unreal. It's an industry that's completely saturated. You know, everybody can now. We've all got the technology to make music, and actually make music of quite a good quality. As long as you know a few ins and outs of what you're doing, then you know you can promote yourself, make good tracks, put them out there. But now trying to make money from it, it's probably been harder than it has been before, because everything's free now. You don't have to part with money for your music. You get MP3 downloaders, or you just log into YouTube and watch it again. And you know, this is the way it is now. Trying to sell an album is difficult at best. It's always been the dream, obviously, get signed by a label that knows what they're doing, and then all you've got to do is the music, you know. And I could just get in the booth, write bars, maybe even have somebody make beats for me. That'd be awesome, and then I could really engage in what I wanted to do 100%, because I've had to learn all this other stuff to go with it. And so yeah, I suppose I would love for that to happen, but at the same time, some of my favourite artists are running their own labels and selling their own tracks, who have only made it big because they've been so self-assured, done it off their own backs, and had 100% creative control. You know, they master the sounds themselves, everything, the videos, it's all done by them. So I've got a lot of respect for people that go out and do that, all of it off their own back. You know, there's a lot of drive there, and there's a lot more work to it, but I bet the satisfaction when you get to those levels, like I'm talking about Lee Scott particularly, who's the guy I'm talking about in my head, he's one of my idols of the UK hip-hop scene, just because he has been in it for so long, and he's releasing like a new track every week, an album, 2-3 albums a year at the moment. And not only that, his label has got mad acts all popping off, all getting their own big names for themselves, and he's backing all of that at the same time. So somebody that can put that amount of graft into what they're doing, graft into their craft, deserves to be where they are. And so I think that's what it is. You work hard, you get what you deserve.